Hey, Edgar. Your breakfast. So I had a little bit of an ice storm. But they're kind of encapsulated in ice, and I hadn't had a chance to put a kind of a jacket thing over that. Look at that. Still plugged in over there, so power is going to it. Everything seems fine. See what happens. Well, I didn't short out or anything. That's good. There. This winter came back. I know I don't want to be out here shoveling the snow right now, so I'm sure no one really wants to watch me shoveling the snow right now. Realistically, this is what we're working on today. The battery, I didn't realize I had it hooked up to the screen. Well, this, which was running the screen. And it was sitting out in single digits for a while pulling a little LED screen, so it killed it completely dead. And hey, guess what? A lot of modern chargers won't charge a completely dead phosphorus ion battery, which I find very strange because I thought they were better to run completely dead to redo. So I had to hook it onto a special kind of charger thing, bring down the amperage very, very low, and then slowly kind of bring the battery back to life, which seemingly worked. Seemingly worked. I don't really know. Let's find out. Well, this is saying we got 14.2 and then some, so all right, let's go back in the caravan and see about firing this puppy up. We got a screen, that's good.
Start heating.
The coolest part is I literally just turned on the camera as everything turned. That worked out great. It rarely ever happens for me. So I don't know how well you can see. I'm gonna try to maybe clean it up in post, but the furthest black cable back there with the red stuff come out of it, yeah, that red stuff is actually copper. So looks like a mouse turned into a corn cob. That's cool. But it seems to be the only one that I can see, and it's far enough away from anything that could be too dangerous. So we'll get back to that, even though it makes me a little nervous. It'll be alright, I hope. Today I'm actually warming up the caravan to demolish the kitchen. At least most of it. Well, actually all of it will get demolished. I just don't know how much time I have today to get it all done. Because I want to get that all out of here and the furnace out of here is the plan. It's already getting pretty warm in here, so hopefully just get a couple of tools and whatnot and a few things out of this general locale. And we'll start the ripping and the tearing. Anyways, and what's also going to be interesting is how all the ducting works and if I want to save some of the run, because I might put the heater in here. Already has a little venti guy there. One thing I'm having a hard time trying to figure out for ducting is I see that they have smaller stuff like this I might be able to utilize, but I want to try to get it to the bathroom. So that way if you're, you know, in here for a moment and it's really cold out, you don't get cold. In theory, and I don't really plan on keeping a lot of water stuff in there like long-term storage, but also just to keep that from freezing up if we happen to be up here when it's cold. Alright, so this drain leaked a little, but I bet you it's because they didn't even have it really snugged up. Yeah, look at that. But I was already planning on taking this out, because it's a really stupid shallow sink. What's going on here? The whole drain piece is moving. I think I have to like double up a wrench on it. Man, let's take a look. Not budging. So it must still be kind of sealanted, caulked, whatever, in place. You got like a smudginess. I don't know. There we go. I mean, it just has. You wouldn't like that. Why would you like that? It's out of here. So that leaves us with this. So yeah. So I have a kitchen with no sink, no stove, no fridge. I have a bathroom with no toilet. I really need to clean this place. Either take this stuff to the dump, or get a dumpster dropped off here soon, because I've got way too much shit here. 3/4 of a fridge, a teeny sink, and the inset burner portion of a small stove that I already got rid of. I'm gonna call it good for now. I'm actually just really hungry. I got to remove the pump yet, and that's the only thing I'm really kind of worried about saving, like, in entirety. And I might reuse it for like a hose thing outside, for other stuff. Well, I prefer to use a water pressure tanks using air pressure. This I'm gonna have to sawzall, but I think I'm gonna wait to sawzall that out of the way after I get all this shit out of the way. No, it's raining. I'm actually trying to get back to this project for a minute. So I'm starting to pull this, and I'm getting all that, but you can see, I don't know what the hell it is. I have to do it to HVAC. Well, I guess in that case, the H of the HVAC, I think, would be the heating system. I don't know. Maybe for the vapor is a propane. Well, I guess then we should take all this off. So that way we can live, Bobby. It looks like there's a tank. Flashlight. No, I don't have my flashlight leg. A little jug. I'll get some more light here in a minute, but investigate that more in time. That makes life easy, I think. There's a little ice in there. Yeah, that's what that was, a little ice and water. So I'm sure that's a little gross, but it's a-okay for now. Next, let's get this pump out, which is not even hooked up. I wonder if they do that for winterization. Yeah. You guys are RVs? You disconnect your water pump. Actually, I would probably take the whole thing out, because you're going to have water probably in there. Yeah, that's what I would do. Doesn't seem designed to be easily removed, because it's also wired. Which, that's the next thing to go. But no, things I have to get back to is a little bit of plumbing. This one goes that way to the hot water tank I got to pull out yet, so we'll worry about all that as we get into there, because it's kind of a shitty spot. It's tucked in back there. That's going to be fun. And then a few cable run stuff to clean up, some gas line and whatnot. But the worst of it's going to be the next bit, which is in here, which is a little hard to see on my flashlight. I do have this drill, or impact driver, I should say. So I want to get the furnace out and put other stuff in here, but look at all that. You can tell it's been recently done and somewhat decent-ishly, but I don't really like the way it is. I don't want it anyway, so I gotta get the hell out of there, chase all that, clean it all up, because I want to make sure everything cable-wise a lot more accessible, so that way if I want to add or augment stuff, I can get to it. And pretty much I only need like 1 or 2 AC outlets. Everything else is going to be DC, like the lights and everything that I have on right now. Yeah, so if anybody's keeping track at home, in the past roughly 2 weeks we went from an ice storm to a blizzard to single digits during that blizzard with the wind chill to the teens. Now we're back to almost 50 degrees. Don't worry, because in about 3 or 4 days it's going to drop back down to the 20s, which is kind of where we're supposed to be anyways this time of year. It's January. Anyway, so doing research on the buggy go-kart here, mostly about the carburetor. And I was right, this is a computer controlled doohickey, technical term, and that doohickey controls the choke, which does correspond to, well, I got it in a bag, the ECU up there. That kind of sucks, so I might have to fix that in the future. Not a huge deal. But what is a huge deal? I don't know how well we'll be able to see all this, but right above my finger, there's already a little drill divot in there, because that's actually the air screw. Well, no, that's actually not the air screw. Behind that plug is the air screw. That plug is called California, and I have California in the way of me doing things I want to do to my carburetor. Now, those that might be watching this from California, I have nothing against the people of California. It's just the government has such an overreach, it's ridiculous. We're going to leave it at that. I don't want to get into politics. Nonetheless, there's a lot of California on stuff I have to strip off all the time. Even my wood burner would not have worked from the California compliance it had on there. I had to do a bunch to it. Talk about that anymore. Right now, I got to drill this out without messing up my carburetor, which don't get me wrong, it's only about a $35 carburetor, but it's a hell of a lot of work to get in here to replace it if I have to. So, needless to say, I'm a little nervous about going through and drilling a hole in my carburetor. I mean, not really in the carburetor, if I do it right. See if I can do that with you there, because this barely fits in here. That's what I gotta do. And there we go, we're through. So there's the start of it. Alright, so as you can see, I do have a screw on there. I'm going, this will work. I'm at a really crooked ass angle. I think I got I think I got it. I do have it. Victory is Dan's. I had my doubts. California be gone. So yeah, that little part right below my finger, that's where the plug was. I don't know how well you can see recessed in there. Is the adjustment screw for the air-fuel ratio, which is very, very important when running your carburetors. Otherwise, you're really just adjusting the idle. There's not much else doing to it, and it's kind of lame. So even though I can't adjust the choke, the computer still has control over that for now. I'll have to probably adjust replace the entire carburetor in the future to get rid of that. But I'll live with this for now. Because even if there's weirdness with the choke or anything else as this ages, I can now adjust the mix. So if that way, if things are getting too heavy or too lean, I can take care of that. So it's really, really important for me, in a sense, to have access to that. I don't know about anybody else, because everyone else wants a computer, I guess. But I tell you what, if you're old school like me, you gotta remove that little plug and just a simple little drill bit, a little bit of patience, and a screw, and you can pull that puppy out. And we'll fire this up and make some changes. It's gonna be great. By pushing the screw, like twisting it towards the steering wheel. I'm gonna go bananas with it first to see. Here it's really dip. Yeah, we don't want that. So back away from the steering wheel. And there's a fine point too. Even when you start to hear the mix getting good, you'll go past it and it starts to get bad again. I think I went past it. Alright, so now what I'm doing here is trying to fine-tune the carb by ear. I'm sure there's a more scientific, mechanical way of doing it, but this is kind of the easiest way you can kind of do in your garage or driveway. And pretty much it's just really hitting the accelerator fairly hard to bring the RPMs up, and then letting up off the accelerator and listening for either that the acceleration takes a second for it to drop down to idle, or when it drops down to idle, it seems to chug a little bit. So if it tangs a little bit when you let it off the accelerator, that means you have it mixed a little bit too lean. If it chugs a little bit before it drops down to idle, that means it's a little bit too rich, which you have too much fuel, which is what I had here. And so the sweet spot is when you let go of the accelerator, it drops right back down to idle and holds smooth. So the power is right there for you again, and not holding the power there. So you're really, really in control of, well, the power. And it translates better when you get a chance to really play out in like a longer straightaway. You can see and make some more finer tunes. But this is the best way of doing it without having to like drive it around a bunch. And it's very important that you have the motor warm when you do it. Otherwise, it's going to change as it warms up. There's a whole thing there. So anyways, that's how I tune a carb, and I hope it was any kind of useful. Take care. Bye.